Gonna start with a shout out to Ryrat, my excellent director and editor of this video. Thank you so much for your work. This is going to be a little different from what you might expect. I'm not going to do the elephant toothpaste experiment once. I'm going to do it 4 times. The experiment is this. What's the best way? So I'm starting with vinegar, 5%, and baking soda, the classic. That's soap I'm putting in right now, and a fair bit. I want it to be very sudsy. The sudsier the better, but I also want this to be scientific, so I'm going to put the same amount of soap in every time. I'm filling it up to that little line there with vinegar every time. I'm going to do the same thing every time, and if I get different results, it must be because of something I put in different, and that's science. Explained a little bit incoherently. So we've got the baking soda now, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to be trying to be consistent with my measurements. And baking soda and vinegar is a neutralization reaction. It's also a relatively complex reaction because the bubbles being produced have something to do with the decomposition of a chemical involved as well. So I don't want to get too deep into that. Let's just watch the bubbles. So here we go. Elephant's toothpaste number 1. Baking soda and 5% white vinegar. Whoa. Not bad. Not bad. I think it would be nice to see that in slow motion. I'm not sure about that dance I'm doing. Glad you won't see that in slow motion. Okay, let's see that in super slow-mo. Whoa, actually you do see the dance. Okay. Now number 2, attempt number 2. You guess for yourself. What do you think is going to happen if I change it from 5% vinegar to 10% vinegar? Same amount of vinegar, same amount of soap, same amount of baking soda. Do you think the extra acidity of the vinegar will do anything to the reaction you predict to yourself? What do you think is going to happen? And if you do that, you're doing science. You got scienced. And let's see. Let's bring in the old baking soda. Woo! I don't know if you remember the last one, but that's foamier. That's toothpastier. That's a little bit more elephantine. And so, yeah, I think the extra percentage led to more. So let's, we're going to actually move on to a different recipe now. And the next recipe we're going to move on to is going to be hydrogen peroxide and yeast. And that will not be a neutralization reaction. That will be a decomposition reaction. What? You see, hydrogen peroxide is always bubbling off a little bit of oxygen all the time. But when you add yeast to hydrogen peroxide, it speeds up the rate at which that decomposition, that breaking down of the hydrogen peroxide happens. And the bubbles come faster, or so they should. Let's see. Oh yeah, faster. Now, that's a nice, beautiful, smooth foam. I think it looks very cool. I agree with my editor, Ryrat, in asking that question. Don't you think it looks cool? I think it looks great. And we're going to finish this one off with a little bit of extra soap. Just drizzle it over the top. Now, this last one is with classic yeast. That last one was with instant yeast. So I wonder what the difference will be. Let's see. So you mix the yeast with water to activate it. I use warm water so that it will activate a little bit faster. And the yeast is a catalyst. It causes a chemical reaction to happen faster, a chemical reaction that's already happening. In athletics, if you are a catalyst on a team in a situation, you make something happen. You may not score the goal, but maybe you make the hit that loosens up the puck. that gets it going down the ice. And always the soap makes it foamy. And it's interesting because the green's there, but by the time it foams up, it really is white. So, but we'll mix that in there, mix it up all nice. And let's see what's going to happen with this last one. Our fourth. And remember, we were doing this experiment to see which one was going to be the foamiest. My hypothesis had been 10% vinegar. I never told you that. I'm telling you that now. It's kind of cheating because it is the one that had the most. But that one looks very pretty. Very pretty. And a very smooth foam. So I will tell you what my conclusions are right now. You can draw them for yourself. But if you're looking to do Elephant's Toothpaste, what I noted was that first of all, you had vinegar. It was chunkier than the hydrogen peroxide. Higher concentration, bigger reaction. I think the quick rise yeast reacted faster than the traditional yeast, and I think it was the nicest reaction. So thank you for watching.